Hello guys, welcome back to a new video. So today the video is going to be quite different. It is kind of a vlog and a technical video. I'm going to create my own home server using my old PC and Ubuntu server image. And also I'm going to install it in my old PC and then using my current personal laptop, I'm going to SSH into that old PC or the server, the home server, and I'm going to run a simple Python server and going to test in my all local devices that are connected to my PC. So it is going to be a local home server where we can access it using our local Wi-Fi that is to which that uh, server is connected and our devices are connected. So yeah, that's about the brief what we are going to do. So stay tuned and do watch the video completely. And if you are new to the channel, my name is Shubham and I create software engineering content along with memes and stuff. So don't forget to subscribe and like the video and please comment it out anything you want, have a question or doubt. So yeah, so let's start the video. Yeah, first thing first, if you can see there is a CPU or a PC, that is my old PC that consists of 2 GB of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage and 3 gigabytes of processor, a Pentium processor. So out of 512 gigabits of GBs of storage, only 100 I guess is available. So I'm going to create a partition for that and going to mount my new server, Ubuntu server on the same partition. So everything on the hard disk will be separated out and I have a separate image or OS running on my that partition, newly created partition. Yeah, so that is a quite old PC. If you can see, around 5 to 8 years old, and I have like reused its monitor by using this a thing called VGA to HDMI connector, so that I can connect that monitor into my personal laptop. If you can see, now I have to utilize that CPU as well. So for that I am creating a home server. Okay, so for that I have to firstly download the ISO file for Ubuntu 20 Ubuntu server 20 server long-term support LTS version in my PC, and then boot it into this USB so that I can install that server into my old PC. Yeah, so let's do this step and then we will continue what to do next. Okay, so now let's see how to download and boot that Ubuntu server in our pen drive, and then we can install it in our old PC that we have seen. So let's start and see how to download that. So now you have to open the browser and type Ubuntu server, and then you have to go to the first website, the official website, and then you have all these options, but you have to choose the manual installation option, and you have to download this ISO file from here, or if you want you can download the previous one also. So I just want this one, I just click on here, this page appears and the downloading automatically starts. So here is the ISO file I already downloaded, I just cancel it. Okay, so now you have the file now let's see how you can boot it in your USB pen drive. Okay, this USB pen drive. For that you have to download Rufus software. You can get it from here and just click on here to download it. Okay, so now let's see how to install it, boot it into the USB using that Rufus software and that RUSO file. Okay, so now you can see I open Rufus app and then it automatically detected my pen drive. Please select the pen drive if there are more than one which you want. So it's selected my 8GB pen drive SanDisk, and then you have to select your ISO image which you have downloaded already. So just click on select and then it will open your file explorer, and then you have to go to the downloads and then select. Yeah, the rest the things will be automatically detected. You just have to click on the start button and then it will take some time and it will boot it to that USB. Then you are good to go. So I already done that, that's why like the name appears here, Ubuntu server. So now let's plug it in our old PC to convert it into a server. Before that I have already partitioned that hard drive into like a chunk of 100 GB. You can do it whatever the space you require, whatever you have. You can search for how to partition drive in your like OS. You can find it easily on Google. Yeah, so now I'm going to boot it, plug it in my old PC and boot it and do the setup. Okay, so that I will not be able to like record it, but I will drop a video down here that you can see how to boot that into your PC, or if you want to. So I will drop a video. I followed that video too. So now let's just move directly to our server so that we can SSH into it. So apart from booting, you don't have to do anything. You just follow the tutorial. I will drop it down in the description area, and then you are good to go. So now I have like booted up my old server, and now you can see. So you might not going to get this error because like my battery, the battery on the motherboard is like I guess dead. That's why I'm getting this. So you just have to like go to the BIOS, which you can do like if you can see F2 to get to the setup BIOS setup, or there might be a different key for your motherboard. So yeah, you can do the same. So now we have to like press the F2 key so that it will going to move us to this screen, if you can see. And then so now you have to switch to different screen and go to the boot. Let me focus it there. So now you can see it's hard disk selected, but when you are going to boot, you have to select that hard disk to USB so that you can boot. But I have already done it, and if you want, you can, I have like dropped the video in the description, you can see that. So I have already installed or booted the USB, the Ubuntu server. so I don't have to do that. I'm just showing you for the if you are going to do, you can just follow that video in the description. So now you can see here, you have to just press save and then yes. So it's now going to load the Ubuntu server. Now you can so I have Windows 10 also, so that's why I'm getting that, but it will automatically start after a few seconds, so I don't have to manually do that. Now if you can see, there is no UI here, so because Ubuntu server is lightweight and there is no UI. So, and also I have done a setting that it going to automatically log in to my user that I provided to it. For that tutorial I will also going to give you in the description. Yeah, it's going to take some time to make it up and running, so I will see you after that. Now you can see it's automatically logging in. As I told you, I set up it auto login, so don't have to manually interfere or just log in. So it will, if for example if there is a power cut, it will automatically get started. I don't have to plug a monitor or a keyboard into the server. I just have to click on the start button and it will going to do the everything that once I solve the cell issue. Yeah, so now you can see it logged in into the PC and so now it is good to go. Now I can unplug the monitor and the keyboard as well, so it will be running idly, and I can SSH into this using my this PC or laptop. Yeah, so you can see there is no UI, so I have to just SSH into this, and I will perform any task. Similarly we do with the AWS cloud instances or Google Cloud instances. Yeah, so now you can see I'm in my terminal from my laptop. Okay, so it's a Windows laptop. So now I can use this command SSH. Okay, so with this command I have to just type the SSH and then the username and then the IP address and have to enter. Okay, so I set the username in my local server as Shubh, and then the IP. So the IP you can just find in your server. Just you have to type ifconfig in Ubuntu, where you can find the IP, and you can just have to write the IP here. So the IP I remember is 192.168.43.55. yeah, so now it's asking me the passwords. I quickly just hit the password and you can see it started the SSH, and now I'm inside my old PC home build server. Now I can perform any task which I want. So you can see now so I'm in command prompt, which is SSH into the Ubuntu server. Now you can run any Linux commands here, for example ls, and it's going to be show me all the folders in my current, or you can do print pwt and it's going to show me the current path. So yesterday I put a folder here for my experiment or just for the demonstration purpose. So just quickly, and there is nothing, I guess. Yeah, okay, so let me just clear everything. Yeah, so now how we are going to test it, we are going to create a Python server and then we are going to access it into our current laptop, and yeah, so that's how we are going to test it. For that I just move in this directly you can, yeah, just directly you can type the, or first we have to check which version is of Python we have available. So for that you have to just type Python and then hyphen and then v, or Python 3. Yeah, so if I type Python 2, it's say not found, but I guess the Ubuntu image have built-in or pre-installed Python available. Yeah, so now we can quickly run a server, a mock server or a testing server. So you can just write Python 3 and then -m and http.server and the port name like 8080 or 8000. By default it is going to use some, I guess, 3000 or 8000. You just mention 8008 and it will going to serve it. Okay, yeah, so it started serving it. Now what we can do is we can like open our browser. Let me just move to our browser. We are now in our browser and our server is running, and now we can click on, we can type the IP address which we just typed there, 43.55 and then 8080, and yeah, so now you can see it's working. Okay, yeah, we can also create a directory there so that we can see if it's actually working or not. So let's just move to our command prompt back and then just stop this, and since like there is nothing here, we can create a file, a text file, and we can check, yeah, it's here. So we can use Vim and we can edit it. Now we are going to insert something like hello from Ubuntu home server, and then we can escape and then colon update. Now we are in insert mode and we type the server. Now we escape and then colon Q and W and then enter. Okay, so it might be W and Q and enter. Yeah, so now you can see yeah, it's saying hello from. So we have written a file here. Now we can serve this directory using the same command, and now it's up and running, and we can go to the browser and we can just hit type the same thing. We can see hopefully our file here. Yeah, you can see the file, and it's saying, and we are accessing it with the IP from our from a device, that is our laptop, in the same local connection of my Wi-Fi. So yeah, so that's how we can connect it and we can access it to our home server from any device that is connected to the same Wi-Fi, that is the same local area network. Yeah, so this is a small example. In future we are going to have some big projects which we are going to serve it in our home server, and then we are going to access it from our local devices. Or we can also maybe in future make this server live to the internet, and that can be accessible by anybody from any device around the world. Yeah, so if you like the video, please subscribe and hit the like button, and also if you have any doubt, and you can comment that in the comment section. Yeah, so I will see you in a next video.